Okay, I just want to look at some harder indices. The first thing I just want to run through is the zero index. Now, with the zero index, like say we have a to the power of 0, it equals 1, okay? Now, I think it's important that we just look at y. So, say I just had a to the 3 divided by a to the 3. Now, if we use the index laws, 3 minus 3 is 0. So you actually end up with a to the 0. Okay? And if you think about that, how many a to the 3's go into a to the 3's? There's only one. You can also think about it as a to the 3 on a to the 3, and then do some cancelling, because a to the 3 is a times a times a, and a to the 3 is a times a times a. So if you look at that, the a goes into a once and into a once. All right. So if we just look at a couple of other examples, like say 73 divided by 73. If you look at that, that will go into itself once. But if you do the subtract the indice rule, the indice of 73 is a 1. So 1 minus 1 is your 0. So that means 73 to the 0 must be 1. You can basically do it with any number whatsoever. 9 divided by 9 is 1, but 9 to the 1 divided by 9 to the 1 is 9 to the 1 minus 1 using index laws, which should be 9 to the 0. So 9 to the 0 is 1. So basically, any number, and a pronumeral is a number, to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so a to the 0 is 1. So I want you just to simplify these. Have a look at these ones. So 7a to the 0, what do you think that would mean? See, that's 7 times a to the 0, and a to the 0 is 1, so it's just 7 times 1. 5y to the 0 would be 5 times 1, which would be 5. 9a to the 0 is 9 times 1, which is 9. Okay. What about if I put a bracket around it and I said 9y and I put that all to the 0? Okay. Now the bracket, when you have a bracket, the bracket actually owns what's inside. So that would equal 1. 5a to the 0, b squared. Think about what that would equal. 2a0, b squared, but then you put it all to the 0. 5y0 times 2a to the 0. Okay, let's think about these. So 5a0b2 would be 5 times 1 times b2, which will just be 5 ones are 5, so just 5b2. This one here, this 0 here is containing everything inside, so it's just going to be 1. This is 5, then times 1, because that's what y to the 0 is, times, now the whole thing is to the 0, so that's 1. So the answer there would be 5. Okay, that's just the 0 index. Now, what I'm going to do is I just want to do a couple of questions where we do what you did yesterday, where you have all the different indices, but we're going to do it like on a bigger expression, so just on this one here. Okay, so simplifying that. So you just take it step by step. So first of all, you have 5a3. Now, if you get rid of this bracket here, if you're doing it the quick way, that's 2 to the power of 4, a to the power of 2 times 4, which is 8. 2 to the 4 is 16, a to the 8. 2 times 4 is 8, so it's 16 to the 8. You could also write it out 4 times, but that's the long way of doing it, and we're kind of always good to look for shortcuts. This is what maths is all about. It's about finding little patterns and then seeing if you can apply the patterns to simplify things. Okay, so if we did 15a7 divided by 3a7, 15 divided by 3 is 5. a7 divided by a3 is 7 minus 3, which is 4. Now, on the top line, now we go 5 times the 16, which is 80. a3, a8 would be a11, over 5, a4. And now we've just got division. So we go 5 into 80 goes 16 times. a11, a4, that would be a to the 11 minus 4, which is 16a to the 7. Okay, I'm going to do one really massive one. I'm going to square it at the end. We're going to go to 12a5b squared divided by 36a4b over 18a5b squared times 2a3b4, but then we might square that as well. Okay, and maybe write this down in your book. Just pause the video and see how you go doing it. Okay, and when you're ready, then I'll go through it. Right, so if you look at the first thing, if you just sort of break this up, so you've got this part here, okay, square the 12, you get 144, because it's 12 times 12, because that's what the square means, or 12 to the power of 2. A to the 5, a to the 2, that would be a to the 10, because you multiply those indices. But if you think about it, it's just writing that twice, and 5 plus 5 is 10. B to the 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, so we've got 144 A10 B4 divided by 36 A4B. So I'm now just looking at the top line. 144 divided by 36 is 4. If you're unsure on that, you can use a calculator, but 36 times 2 is 72. 72 times 2 gives you 144. So that's why it's 4. A10, A4, so you've got to subtract the indices, so that's A6. B4 and B1, that would be 4 minus 1, which is 3. Okay, so now doing the bottom line, 2 times 18 is 36. A5, now we'll go A5 divided by, no, we better B2, we better just do this bracket. A to the, so you multiply those indices, A to the 6, we've already done the number, 2 18s. B to the 4, to all to the 2, so you times those. 4 2s are 8. Okay, so you get 4A6B3, 36A5A6. Whoopsie, I didn't really mean to make it go like that, but we're going to do this anyway. 5 take away 6 is minus 1. B2, B8, B take away 8 is minus 6. Whoops. Okay, I didn't mean to make it that hard, but anyway, we can still apply the stuff that we know. So you've got 4A6B3, and you're going to divide that by 36, A minus 1, B minus 6. 36, A minus 1, B minus 6. Okay. Alright, so with the numbers, that's just a fraction, 4 on 36. What goes into 4 that also goes into 36? 4. So that's just 1 over 4 into 36 goes 9. So that goes into that 9, so it's 1/9. Now if we did the A's, we've got A6 divided by A minus 1. A6, and then you go minus 1. If you subtract a negative, you actually add it on. A negative minus a negative would be a positive. The way you should think about that when you're subtracting negatives if you take something that is negative away, like say there was all these cold balls in here, in the jar, all right? And then you have some hot ones in there too. And combine, they're kind of making a temperature. So if you look at this, that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like -5. And this is 1, 2, plus 3. So overall, it's now -2. So if you have like -2 and you're going to take away a negative, so we're going to take out 1, 2, 3 of the cold ones. Okay, so you're going to take away -3. So I'm taking those out. Then you can see what actually happens here is when you take that away, you have -2 left there. And it's like having -2 plus 3. So when you take it away, you take away the cold ones, the temperature will actually it'll go up. And you end up with -2 plus 3, which is +1. So that's why if you take away a negative, you get a positive. Think about this. If someone's misbehaving in the classroom and you take them away, then that's going to be a positive. So it's actually going to go up the classroom environment when you do that. Okay, so something I learned at Teachers College, yeah. B3 divided by B minus 6, so that's B to the 3 minus -6, which is B to the 9, because 3 minus -6 is 9. Now I might just demonstrate that with my cold ball, hot balls. So we got -6 because they're the cold ones, and we have +3. So if I take away, if I got +3, right, and then I take away 6. It's a bit hard to represent that. So right, if I take away 6, it's basically it's going to go up. All right, so that's going to make it +9, because it's going to be 3 minus 6, which is 3 plus 9. Okay, so what do we have here now? So we have the 1 on the 9, we have A to the 7, and we have B to the 9. Okay, so that was probably a bit harder than what I wanted. I didn't really want the negatives in there yet, but okay, can you just try this one? So I want you to write this down. So write that down. Oh, sorry, back on the other one too. I think at the end too I had a big square there. So let's just square that as well. So it's 1 on 9 A7B9 times 1 on 9 A7B9. Okay, so 1 on 9 times 1 on 9 is 1 on 81. A7 times A7 is A14. B9 times B9 is B18, because you add the indices. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Let's break it down. They've got 2A3 to the 3. And I'm going to do it the quick way. That's 2 to the power of 3. 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8. A to the 3 times 3, which is 9, times 2. A to the 4 times 2 is 8. And on the bottom, 16 divided by 4 is 4. A5, A3 would be A2. That's A2 squared. 2 8s are 16. That would be A17, because 9 plus 8. The 9 and the 8 add to give 17, over 4A squared, and that's all squared. Alright, 16 on 4 is 4. A17 on A2. So 17 take away 2 is 15. So then it's 15 squared. 4 4s are 16. What do you do to the indices here? 2 times 15 is 30. So that's 16 A to the 30.